Hello, Patreon subscribers. Take 3. If I pick up the pendulums again for the 3rd time to talk to you and my dog barks, I have no idea what's going on because my mind is trying to get this video on for you guys. Did I say how much I love you guys for subscribing and coming along on this ride with me? It's amazing, and thank you. I love you guys. But today I want to talk 101 on things for divination. Divination is calling in a higher source to help you decipher what's going on around you. That can be tarot cards. It can be, here's these things, watch out. I always set the dog off. It can be pendulums. And it could also be divining rods or dowsing rods. Those are just little examples of what things can be used for divination. Now you're getting the idea. Pendulums, they can be as elaborate as this. This is a beautiful little crystal in there. Can you see it? Isn't that neat? And there's a crystal, a quartz crystal, and there's a quartz crystal coming out of the bottom. And that's absolutely just beautiful. However, everything that glitters is not gold, nor is this. This is copper. Now, I like the copper one a little better. Copper actually, I feel, tunes into some of the magnetic forces and the ley lines of the earth, and you kind of get a better, I get a better feel. Now, somebody else may feel better with a piece of crystal, and you can be as simple as a wedding ring on a string. This is very similar to a carpenter's plumb that they use to drop a plumb line to see if something is straight or flush. Anytime you get anything for divination, no matter what it is, you need to consecrate it over for the good. Otherwise, it's kind of like asking an open-ended question. To whom are you speaking? And you want to consecrate everything that you use to God's light and to the higher good. Hold it against your heart and just impart that love energy and that light energy into whatever it is you're using, whether it's the cards, whether it's the pendulums, the divining rods, whatever it might be. That, and those are only the things that I'm touching on right today. Now, I'm going to hit on tarot cards briefly. I'll start there first. You know, there are several different types of tarot cards. I prefer the old-fashioned Rider-Waite. This is the one that everybody is really familiar with, that you see through all the movies, where they have some of the different cards are scary and they're ominous. You know, dun dun dun. And then there are different types, like, again, this is Rider-Waite, but this is foil. Now, I like the foil. It's kind of fancy, you know, the 3D prism looking effect. But I don't get as good a feel for the cards as I do for the traditional. Now, I think everybody should start with the traditional Rider-Waite type of tarot card. Get to learn the basics. Get to where you feel you've got some intuition when you're looking at the picture. You don't necessarily have to learn every one of them verbatim. What you want to do is dial in on the picture. And how do you feel about the person you're talking to in relationship to the picture? And the picture's like a cue card. It's kind of going to give you little things. Oh, look, he's outside and there's some clouds. So there could be something's, you know, clouded in doubt. And yet he's ready, and he's got his sword up. So, you know, just pick the picture apart kind of like you're a detective and let your intuition take you to the meaning. They're pretty basic and they're pretty simple. And you know, once you get some of the basics, you'll get dialed in. Three of Swords. Man, too many players on the field. There's either one too many people in a relationship, or there is one too many people in a relationship. Now, that doesn't always mean that it is somebody that's cheating. Sometimes it could be a nosy mother-in-law. Sometimes it could be that friend you have coffee with that has input in your life. Sometimes a third party can come a lot of different ways. Sometimes it can even be one of your own kids. So you've got to intuitively feel what that is. Just like the Death card, and I didn't pull it out. Very rarely does the Death card mean somebody's going to die. It means the beginning of something. It means the end of an old cycle and something new is getting ready to start. So the Death card doesn't mean death of a human being anyway. That's where you let your intuition come in. Look at the picture, see what it feels, how does it resonate to the person that you're sitting across from. Now, you can always go up to the oracle type cards, and they actually get a little easier because, they've got literally the interpretation for the card is printed right on it. Kind of easy. So there's not a lot to learn there. Not like with the traditional cards. Once you get the traditional cards down, then you go up to the oracle cards. But even with the oracle cards, you're still wanting to read that and feel what is the vibration that it is giving you for the person that is sitting opposite you. And that is what is called the sitter. You're the reader, they are the sitter. You're getting a whole lot of info on how to start your own intuitive business here. Now with the pendulums, and these are just brief because if it's something that interests you, dig into it deeper. There is so much information on all these subjects and topics. It's taken me decades. I've been hanging around this stuff since the 80s. I have had a long time to absorb this. There was a time when I would have been burned at the stake for what I know. I'm not a witch. I don't practice witchcraft. I like to think of myself as a converted Native American Catholic, whatever that might be. I'm truly a spiritualist because I do believe in God. He does have a little different form. I think he is a source. I think God as a collective, so to speak. And he is in all of us, and that's why we get that collective feeling. Okay, back to the pendulums. I'm all over the place, man. Once I get touching on a subject and I feel kind of what you're thinking and what your questions and where you're going, I kind of dial over to that. And by the way, there is no time on any of my readings or any of the videos I post because to the other side, time is just, it's not even there. It's kind of a non-linear thing. And if it doesn't resonate with you today, whatever I'm saying may just hit the nail on the head for you tomorrow. But back to the pendulums. You want to do the same thing when you get a pendulum. You want to take it, get it up to over your heart energy area, your green chakra. I'm on green today. And, just ask to bring in the best energy, that you're promised that you're only going to use it for the highest and the best good. And to never want to harm anybody with it. And that's all you have to do. It doesn't have to be perfect wording. It's the intention that you put behind it. It's the love that you have for what it is you're doing. Don't get too bent out about ritual. You don't have to dance naked under the full moon and swing a dead voodoo chicken to get the results. All you got to do is open up your heart, your mind, and allow this information to float in. You don't have to do a lot of hubbub to allow it to get to you. But when you get your pendulum, after you consecrate it, you kind of want to get to know the pendulum. Ask it, for example, pendulum, how will you swing for me on a yes or no answer? And I guess I'm out of camera shot there, right? I'm going to try and move this without affecting it. Okay, there it is. It is swinging back and forth. And that is the way it always works for me. And I like to relate that back and forth stroke to like the Y on the yes. And that's kind of how I remembered it originally. Okay, now pendulum. Can I get you to respond and show me a no answer? No, I'm trying to keep my hand steady. Of course, it's been up here a while and I'm a little jiggly. There it goes. Notice it's starting to move. Okay, notice it's starting to pick up a little momentum. And it is actually, I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, it is actually going in a circular motion for me, for no. Now, that is not a traditional way other users ask it to go sideways the other direction. I'm self-trained, and I related the circle O for no O to my pendulums and to me, and the way I translate that energy from the pendulum. So get to know your pendulum, which way's yes, which way's no for you. It doesn't have to be big and elaborate. You'll kind of get a feel for it. Now, the one thing with the pendulum is you have to make a conscious effort to not know kind of what you're asking it, because you can influence it. Your vibration, because you know it's a yes, may make something just automatically swing yes for you, okay? So try not to influence. This might be tricky. I don't want to poke anybody's eye out, but the divining rods come in all different sizes and shapes. There are some that are plastic. These, again, I love copper. These are copper and they are in brass rods. You can simply find these on eBay or Amazon, along with the pendulums and the cards. And you notice that they're starting to gently turn. They're following something. Spirit is in the room with me. Look at that. They're moving around. And you can use these to find things with. Dowsers have used divining rods for years to locate water. I have been able to locate lost jewelry, specifically a ring. I kind of was able to narrow it down to this sector, and then the next guy came in with the metal detector and was able to find the ring. But these are so in tune with me. They are actually sensing, look at that, moving around, spirit in the room. And always keep an eye around me in any of my videos. You will see orbs at any given time flying around. The little buggers just come in and soak up my energy, and away they go. So the dowsing rods, same thing. You know, if it feels like it's your cup of tea and it's something you like, read up on it. They're still traditionally used with a lot of paranormal people for ghost hunting and feeling exactly just how they responded today to spirit in the room. They were kind of following something. You could see that. But try a few different things and see what your thing is. Whatever you feel the most comfortable with using. The next thing I'm going to touch on real briefly is crystals. Wow. Setting off all kinds of spirit. You know, you can sink a ton of money in some of these puppies. I don't have room right now to have these all out. I have some that are absolutely wonderful, and you can just feel the energy radiate off of them. And if you get a crystal, you may not feel it today, the day you get it. You may feel it another time, because they do carry energy, and they carry a vibration that allows you to pick up messages from the other side. I have to hide this sweetgrass real quick, or the cat's coming after it. She loves my sweetgrass. Here, kitty kitty. It's too expensive. Let me give you a piece of it. Okay, there you go. There, go play. Sweetgrass is something I use just after saging. It welcomes in blessing. But don't worry about it if you get rocks or crystals. And like I said, if you don't happen to feel something right away, give it time. You may, because it's as though on any given day your chemistry changes or your intuition changes, and then you pick up vibes from things that you wouldn't pick up on the very first day. I again get mine off of Amazon or eBay, and before I buy anything on the internet, I just ask the universe to help me pick out the one that I'm meant to have. Kitty kitty, stay down. The universe always seems to find the one that's best for me. I've never been disappointed yet. I've always been fortunate to get cards or crystals or something that is meant for me. Can I get you to back up? Well, kids, that's all I'm going to touch on today. That's a lot of information in a really short period of time. It's kind of like I said, it's a 101. If there's anything on here that you want to go deeper, go ahead and search other references too. You know, just don't take my word for it. Let me kind of open a door for you, and you get to a point where you find your niche and your thing, and believe the way you want to believe, and interpret these things the way you want to interpret them. As always, I send you love and light. Find me over at YouTube, Tina Beach, your psychic medium, and you can also find me at Facebook at the same. Love you.